Hey everybody, Mike here. So recently ICECO sent out this cooler for me to try out and test. In exchange, I wanted to run you guys through the features on this thing, explain a couple of the differences between the models that they have to offer, and give you some thoughts on this, being that I've used this thing several times now, and I've got a pretty good idea how this thing works. Now, this model here is one of their top-end models. It's also one of the more rugged ones that they carry and have to offer. This is the VL90PRO. It's the 95-quart cooler. And it's also dual zone. It's the biggest one they've got to offer in this lineup. Now you can also pick this up in several other sizes, so if this thing's too big for you, feel free to take a look at those and see if there's one that fits your needs a little bit better. Now with that being said, let's go over a few of the features on this cooler. So you can pick this thing up in the black, but they've also got an olive color as well, so take a look at the colors while you're at it and see if the black fits you or if you like that other color a little bit better. Now what really sets this thing apart from the other portable freezer that I've got and have been using for about a year, just how rugged this cooler is. It's got really nice protective corners on here, which actually, believe it or not, when you get this thing out of the box, the first thing you'll notice after you get the cooler out is it comes with this little box here with not only your power cords, but it comes with extra handle. It comes with extra corner pieces here if you were to ever break one of those, as well as hardware to replace that with. So keep a hold of this box and keep those parts handy. I don't know of any other manufacturer out there that's providing parts like that. So I thought that was a really nice touch. Let's dig back more into this freezer now. Now what's really cool about this one that sets it apart from the other brands that I've used in the past is the top doors on this cooler actually open from both directions, as well as you can take the whole lid off all at once. And that's like that on both sides. So I mentioned this is also dual zone. So the other nice thing about this, not only do you not have to mess with bags of ice and deal with water in your cooler at the end of the day or soggy food that you didn't get to, this thing can literally keep your food and drinks cold or frozen for hours on end, no matter where you're going, because you can actually plug this thing inside your vehicle as well as any AC outlet as well. That's because this actually comes with an AC and a DC power cord. So I've actually got this running off the 12-volt adapter in the back of my wife's SUV right now, and it can literally run for hours, even while the truck's not running, and it has such a low power draw that you can literally run this thing for 10, 12 hours at night and not have to worry about the cooler draining the battery to where the vehicle won't start in the morning. And yes, I've tested that, so I know that that works. And then, as I mentioned, you can also plug this into any 110 outlet as well and run this thing just like any other normal freezer would. Now, it is capable of running from 0 to 50 degrees. So the best thing about that is if you want to take a lot of frozen food with you on your trip, you can run that on one side. You can run the other side here at like 30 or 40 degrees. Really nice feature, being able to have that versatility and being able to run it in any configuration you want to. Now, a lot of you guys are probably using this in like a camping setting or maybe like a day trip or you're going to the beach, something of that nature. And that's where some of those smaller coolers would probably come in handy. Now, I opted for the bigger one because we're not only using this for our camping trips or on our weekend adventures, but we're also using this as part of our farm operation. Now for us, the main thing this cooler is getting used for is at our farmers markets. I've got another freezer as well that I take with me and I've been using for about a year. And I've been looking for another freezer to add to my lineup so I had a little bit more capacity that I could take with me to those markets. And while I'm at it, I want to go ahead and thank ICECO for sending this out to me so that I've got another cooler to be able to use in my daily operations. Now, as I mentioned, this thing's a 95-quart freezer. It's got a ton of capacity. So to give you an idea, you can actually put 150 cans in this thing roughly, or just over 100 bottles of water. Well, that's a lot of space. Now back to what I was saying about my farmers markets a second ago, that really comes in handy for me is that when I'm running my markets in the middle of the summer, it can reach temperatures of up to 90 degrees pretty easily while I'm at that market for 5 to 6 hours. Before, I was just taking a ton of coolers and packing ice packs in there or ice and just hoping for the best. And sometimes that got really difficult on sunny days trying to keep everything from de-thawing and getting it home or having food go bad. Ever since I've had these coolers, not only have I been able to keep ice packs with me and keep those frozen or swap those from cooler to cooler, I've also not had a single problem with any kind of meat showing any signs of de-thawing while I've been there, which is just amazing in my opinion to be able to have that luxury. And with it having such low power consumption, I'm able to take one of my little portable power stations with me and power the unit there even if I don't have electricity available to me. Now when you get this cooler opened up, what you'll notice inside here is you do have lights on both sides. Now that's going to be extremely handy as well, because if you are on a camping setting or if you're just out in the middle of the night and you need to be able to get in your cooler, this thing lights up the compartment extremely well and makes it extremely easy for you to be able to dig out what it is you're looking for. Not to mention, this thing's also got these wire baskets on each side. So what's neat about that is you can leave the cooler in place and you can easily take your wire container out, go load that at your fridge or freezer, and then just bring the wire container back to the freezer and use it like a carrying basket, and that way you don't have to carry this cooler, which weighs about 78 pounds by the way, when it's empty. Now I want to go turn this thing around here real quick. I want to show you the control panel. Now this side here is really slick. This is where all your buttons and controls are. I really like the way they've got this laid out. So basically you got two zones here you can adjust the temperatures on from 0 to 50 like I mentioned earlier. You've got a spot here where you can mount your battery, as well as a max and eco mode if you're in a position where you need to save or conserve power. Now from left to right here, you've got your DC port for your 12-volt charger like I'm running in the car right now. You got your AC port next, which plugs into your wall, and then you've also got a spot here where you could plug in a charging cord because you've got two USBs here. So essentially you could have this cooler on your campsite, which is really a nice touch because then you got a couple extra USB ports that you could charge any of your devices while you're out and about. And on the other side of the cooler is another AC port as well. So what's really nice about that is if you've got this thing in a certain spot and your cord won't reach, or if you just really have a reason that you need to plug the cord in on the other side, you do have an AC on both sides. But keep in mind the DC is only on this side. Now, after using this cooler for about a week, I've basically fallen in love with this cooler. It is an amazing cooler with a lot of features packed into it, and I really do feel like you're getting a great value out of this cooler for the price you pay. They use top of the line components. The compressor in this thing is a SECOP compressor. I think that's how you pronounce it, and they offer a 5-year warranty on that compressor. So you can really rest assured that this thing is going to last you for quite some time, and if you do ever have a problem with it, they're a company that stands behind their product. So go ahead and take a look at the lineup of different sizes and see what you think. Find the one that you think will fit your needs the best. Either way, I don't really think you can go wrong with this thing. It's ready for adventure or anything else you decide to throw at it. In fact, we've got a camping trip coming up this week. I'm really looking forward to taking this thing out to the campground with us and it having everything we need for the week while we're there. Other than that, that's all I've got for you on this one today, guys. I appreciate you taking the time to watch, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.